I'm confused here. Which one of these two is having the identity crisis? What's up guys, BC coming back at you guys with another Transformers video review, and today I have a recurring guest on here with me, Mr. Aladar himself. And today we are going to be taking a look at Titan's Return Astrotrain, which is a figure ever since we basically saw Sentinel Prime I got super excited for, and now that I have it in hand, we'll talk about it.
Starting with the train mode.
The train mode is honestly just this mold's weakest mode, period. Because, I mean, you really can't tell what the fuck this is supposed to be.
It's a freighter train.
You can't even say it's a freighter train because it's got all these fucking gun embankments on top. It's got all these fucking wings on it, which that's for the shuttle mode. It's just all around. This is just, like, the train mode, even on Sentinel Prime, was kinda weak.
I liked it for its weirdness.
Yeah, but at the same time, bear in mind, you're a lot easier to please than I am.
I do admit, though, it is the weakest mode. It's got too many gaps for its own good.
Gaps really don't bug me all that much. Now, clearly enough, you can tell this is a straight-up repaint with a brand new face. So, yeah, and I didn't flip this in. So, yeah, there you go. There's the train mode. Really not much else to really go into with it.
It's a nice little novelty.
It's just a nice little novelty, exactly. Now, the mode that I'm pretty sure everybody bought this for was, other than the robot, of course, is the shuttle mode. And clearly enough, as you can see here, this is the same weapon bay platform thing that Sentinel Prime can make with his guns. Now, I'm actually going to just leave this off to the side for the rest of the video and only put it in his hands when he's in bot mode. So bearing that in mind, we're basically going to go straight into shuttle mode, which is literally the exact same transformation as already stated. This is a repaint slash retool of Sentinel Prime, which, as everybody can already tell from my review of Sentinel Prime when I first got it, how he was basically my first figure to test out the Titan's Return line, and he was he really impressed me. Flip. As you can tell, I'm doing this way the hell out of order, but whatever.
Either way, the shuttle mode's a dinky little affair.
Slot those in, and there is the shuttle mode.
Which, honestly, I also feel like was a big letdown.
Now, of course, I didn't do this, but yeah. He feels it's a letdown. I honestly think this is, like, the shining mode, at least for Astrotrain. I will admit, train mode, while it is a little odd looking, it looks better on Sentinel, and the shuttle felt more of an afterthought for him, to whereas here the shuttle mode works. It really, really works. So yeah, there really isn't much else to really go into with him, other than, well, his robot mode, which really gives me...
Let's head there now.
So let's pull out... We'll crack this open and pull out Dark Moon. Whoa, no. Stay standing. So kind of zooming in on him.
I find it's easier to leave him in the cockpit until you get everything else transformed.
But of course I'm not like you, where I'm actually have him in front of a camera where I gotta show him off. kind of rotating his head. It's pretty much the same thing as Sentinel Prime, as a matter of fact. I got Sentinel Prime next to me. So let's get his head off and flip him open. So you can see that even though they're both very wee, you can tell they're both pretty much the exact same figure. Which is not a bad thing at all. Now we're going to flip this around, and there is the Astrotrain head in comparison to the Sentinel head.
That's just funky.
I'm happy with this. On an intensely personal level, I'm happy with this. I'll put that on in a second. So let's zoom back out and start transforming this figure into its robot mode. And I will note that quite a few of these bits that tab in on him tab in way tighter to the point where I'm almost afraid of breaking it.
Amazingly, mine doesn't have that problem.
That's because you're apparently a lucky sumbitch. Now,
I have no idea how weird that feels being called a lucky son of a bitch.
Before we get too dark, let's continue with the video.
Yeah.
Put the gun in his hand, and then go ahead and pop his head on, and there is Astrotrain in his robot mode. And yeah, this is a robot mode that, while I will admit it looks good, he does have the same gimmick as Sentinel Prime before I get into the actual comparison. But yeah, anyways, moving on. Now, while he does share the body with Sentinel Prime,
He changes enough to be his own body.
Exactly, like, you can clearly tell this general mold was meant to be him. And with that in mind, you can kind of already tell my Sentinel is kind of wobbling and flopping about. This is actually intentional because I have the separate foot transformations. You can have his feet be the locomotives if you really, really wanted to, and this kind of works for me in a way. I've been doing it, but specifically for Astrotrain, I keep the shuttle feet. Because, I don't know, this just works for me in a way. So getting him out of the way. Articulation is exactly the same. There's not really anything I can go into to really spice up anything past that. So yeah, this is a decent figure. And ultimately, like, picking the figure up is ultimately up to you. If you already have Sentinel Prime, you're essentially getting the same toy. But if you're one of those people where you were holding out on buying the mold until this came out, then you made a pretty smart decision, because he is the better of the two. Because he's the one where the mold makes sense. Sentinel Prime, in my opinion, was a very, very nice touch. This is who the mold was meant to be.
Sentinel was a nice touch, but Astrotrain has the touch.
I'm gonna pretend you didn't make that joke. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much Titans Return Astrotrain in a nutshell. Another quickie, and you know, that kind of happens when you have a line that really heavily focuses on repaints and remolds. But hopefully the newest lines hopefully the review after this one, at least Voyagers wise, will kind of be a bit more of a breath of fresh air.
Hopefully.
With that said, guys, I've taken up enough of your time. This is BC saying stay nerdy and get your geek on. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.